Hello, my loves, and welcome to your Aries super stellium new moon in Aries, which is here on April 17th. So, this reading is going to be for my fire signs Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We are taking a look at how this new moon in Aries energy is going to be impacting all of you. Okay. So first and foremost, with this, Aries superstellium new moon energy we got coming in right now, the color frequency it's bringing your way is card number 20, the color apricot. It says rejoice and laugh. Okay. So, right away, this is kind of telling me, with all this Aries fire that we're feeling, with all this like intensity, all the movement and like the pressure of this activating kind of energy that comes, with that Aries fire. There's also a message here to lighten up, to rejoice, to be in joy, right? It's kind of to me about remembering sometimes that laughter is the best medicine. That quote comes to mind. This apricot energy feels like a blend of like the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. So there's like a warm energy to it. It's really bright and vibrant. It's alive. It's creative. Like I said, it's warming. It's I don't know, to me kind of feels like a bit of softness. Especially with the flower here, it's kind of a soft feminine energy. It brings in a softer energy to kind of balance out all of this, kind of sharp, energy, the flames of initiation kind of, fire energy. So, for you fire signs, this new moon is, not necessarily, about pushing forward and just noticing the change. And I say that because I just did the earth and air signs, and they were releasing a lot of things, that I could see here, really kind of confronting what needs to be changed and stuff like that. So, this for you guys is also about that, but it's also about remembering that, sometimes we need play and fun and laughter and joy, to lighten that energy. And that is sacred too, just as much, as honoring and sacred as it is to do the work and to be disciplined in your, pursuit to enlightenment, if you want to call it that. It's about remembering that joy and laughter. They are healing too. They're medicine too. They are part of the path too. It's funny because I just did the air signs and I literally had that Joker like energy that came through, and it was like, why so serious? And so here we are, fire signs, where that energy is kind of showing up here in a sense for you guys too. Okay. Now when we take a look at the areas that are being impacted or activated the most for you guys right now, we have adventure, card number 55, and we also have individuality, card number 11. And I recently wrote a whole thing about this whole red and blue theme, and here we go. You guys are showing up with that red and blue theme showing up here. So I with both of these being master numbers, 11 and 55, that feels really significant to me. I'm definitely a numbers person. So I will say that this is not a small energy. When we have master numbers like this, that number is being amplified. So it's like a charged, a supercharged kind of energy. And adventure has this like turquoise blue, emerald green color here. So we're looking at throat chakra and also heart chakra. And when you look at the two of them together, it's like a high heart chakra energy, that space in between the throat and the heart. So those are going through a lot of change right now with this number 55. That is mastering change. And then, of course, we also have the red root energy of number 11, individuality. So, 11 is new cycles, new beginnings, kind of mastering the fire energy, if you will, because it's that energy of initiation. A brand new a brand new individual expression kind of is how I'm seeing this, because you fire signs, like I said, have this blue red throat chakra, throat chakra, root chakra kind of theme playing out here. So what's being activated for you guys right now might be the courage to live more of your authentic expression, to live more honestly as yourselves, to move in alignment with your truth, and really kind of rebuild from a more solid individual level, a stronger internal foundation. And that theme is actually very present in some way, shape, or form for all of our signs right now, because I just did, like I said, earth and air, and that same energy showed up in a totally, totally different way for those signs too. So this is definitely a common theme for everyone naturally, because we are in a brand new astrological new year, right after our spring equinox. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and fire is the first stage of alchemy. So, this is kind of playing out for all of us on some level, where anything that is impure, anything that cannot come with us into this next chapter, is being burned and stripped away. And we are going through the fires of purification right now, so that we can, step into this next chapter in our true essence. Okay. So, that's definitely showing up here for you guys too. Now, with this adventure card, I really feel like this new moon is, waking up the part of you guys that is ready for this fire, that is ready for like expansion and movement and, taking a risk, exploring, because you know how that fire horse energy of this year, it's like where there is risk, there is reward, and that kind of comes through here with this adventure card. Is to take that inspired aligned action and see what it rewards you with, like with these new number 11 new experiences. Now, because it is tied to the throat and also the heart with this green energy here, that's not just outer adventure either. It is adventure that manifests externally from the inside out, is kind of how I'm seeing it. So, like I said, speaking more truthfully and kind of living more openly, more true to who you are, letting your heart lead you on adventures, right? Like letting your heart lead the way, that kind of thing, where fear might have kept you, playing small. This is kind of like a call to adventure, to fully embody your individual expression, your authentic expression. Stop dimming your light. Stop being so cautious. Stop over calculating and like waiting for absolute certainty. Say yes, say yes to life in a very full, unique kind of way. I say unique because of this individuality. And I really feel like that's a call back to self, to your own identity and instincts, your individual essence. Root chakra energy is foundational. So this is survival energy and safety. This is kind of like also our sense of belonging and uh, embodying the wisdom from our past experiences and things like that. So I with this, I kind of almost get this energy of like um, remembering who you are underneath fear, right? Like it's that age old question, like what would you do with your life? What would your life look like if fear weren't a factor? You know what I mean? Like if you just had this unlimited courage to do anything, what would your life look like? Especially if you did not live it for other people and lived it for yourself, where you compromise too much in certain roles, especially if it's roles that you have outgrown, and that could be career wise, that could be certain relationships in your life, familial roles and responsibilities, anything like that. Like wherever you might have over compromised or abandoned yourself, or held yourself back in some way and kind of forgotten what you truly wanted out of life. This is where the fire is reawakening that life force energy so that it can truly move through you and make life an adventure again, where your heart can truly lead you. Okay. Now, the way that this energy is showing up for you guys is told through this kind of like middle row here. This is like the story, the deeper story to it all. So the first card that we have is commitment. And if you notice the little contract there, um, I feel like there's something around soul contracts having been fulfilled and writing new ones. I don't know. I just kind of got to get that energy a little bit here with that. But commitment is the commitment to self, your commitment to your life, devotion, decisions that you need to make. You know, what are you committing to? What are you committing to? That's kind of how I'm seeing that. So, where you commit yourself, you know, this could be people in your life. Again, this could be your path, your purpose, like your dreams, your healing process, all of that kind of stuff that you have been, committed to. I feel like commitment is showing up first because, it's asking for um, true sincerity, for a deeper yes to life. This next chapter, that it's asking for you to be fully committed, so that you don't allow fear to get in your way. And I say that because we also have a number 5 again showing up here in the next card, which is an energy card, and it is the energy of fear. So this is about making that commitment to honor your path, honor yourself, honor the calling to life, and facing those fears, anything that might be coming up right now. Because with this Aries superstellium, Chiron is in the mix, and Chiron tends to pull up all of our shadowy shit. So, fear makes perfect sense here. Because this real time commitment for this next chapter, coming in, fear usually kind of follows, with it. And that's because we're only human. We're creatures of habit. We fear change. We fear what we might perceive as loss, or we sometimes even fear just making the wrong decision. You know what I mean? It might even be around visibility with this, individuality card. It could be fear of being seen, like really showing up. It could be, fear of failure, but most importantly, oftentimes for people, it's fear of success. I got this back and forth card, so it's always going to be two-sided. You know, um, the fear here is what is the cost of fully stepping into this next chapter. You're kind of at this place, this threshold right now between chapters, where you're being asked to commit to discipline and devotion and your true life purpose in this next chapter. Whatever is being asked of you right now, from your heart, or from spirit. But fear is probably kind of surfacing right now in response to that calling that you're feeling in your body. So we have taking steps here, and that's important because that movement is happening. Even if it feels like slow intentional steps right now, there is still movement happening. Things are shifting. You are moving out of this fear, even if you keep getting pulled back and forth between like the old you and the new you, the call to be still, the call to move forward. Like either way, steps are still being taken. You know what I mean? Movement is still happening. It's just maybe moving a little bit slower than what you thought it was. I also kind of get this like uncertainty, right? Uncertain about what the next steps might be with all the fear that's, still present here. But it's that saying that like, if you're willing to take the first step, and spirit will be right there to catch you after you jump. You just have to let go of the fear and trust in spirit. So fire signs, you guys are really being asked right now to face the fear and do it anyway. Don't wait for that fear to disappear completely. This is that energy of, uh, fear as an acronym. You can either, say fuck everything and run, or you can face everything and rise, right? You have a choice here. So you're being asked to take that choice, take that step, and move in spite of the fear. One step at a time, one choice at a time, no matter how slow that might seem to be moving. It's like one courageous, foot in front of the other, so to speak, and I mean, this back and forth card, again, another number 5. I mean, it really is showing like that back and forth. It's the inner conflict, turmoil, right? So it's like a sense of wavering or like hesitation. You might feel that fuck yes, I'm all in energy 1 minute, and then the next minute you're kind of, being pulled back again. So like I said, it's this weird push and pull energy right now for you guys, between like expansion and contraction, between your comfort zone and living your full-fledged like purpose. I would also say between kind of like knowing and doubting too, with the fear showing up here. Like, what it is that you need to do, but you might doubt yourself a little bit, or doubt the circumstances, whatever that might be. It's just kind of being in between chapters and versions of yourself right now. It's like you want the new stuff. There's this part of you that wants the new stuff, but then there's still this part of you that's kind of still attached to the old stuff, what is familiar. So I feel like this new moon is definitely like a turning point of some kind for you guys, where it's illuminating where you might be, kind of oscillating in between those two chapters, instead of like fully choosing one. You know what I mean? Fully committing to that decision, that path, that next chapter, or whatever that might look like. Now we also have these two cards, victim mentality and dark thoughts. So again, this is kind of a raw, honest portion of this reading, because like I said, we have Chiron energy present. So like, that's what I meant about that back and forth energy. This is the part that keeps pulling you back, because you do have the courage here. Like, I can see it. I can see the courage here, but like, I do also see the old stories, the old pain, the old hurt, the old way of looking at things. That's the dark thoughts that's the dark thoughts and the fear that keep surfacing. Victim mentality, all of that kind of old survival energy that is still kind of like running in the background, you know? So again, right now we have a lot of that Chiron energy is present right now. So if this is showing up for you, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's just kind of showing you what energy you need to be committed to moving out, what is the opposite of fear? Joy, love, that kind of, all of that kind of stuff. So it's kind of being mindful right now feels very, very important, because you don't want this negative thinking and self-doubt or any of that stuff trapping you in that kind of energy. You know what I mean? You don't want to stay stuck to what's already happened in the past. This is about moving you forward and up and out of this energy. And so that's what this Aries new moon is illuminating for you guys. It's bringing it up because you're ready to release it. It's exposing all of the, mental, emotional kind of stuff so that you can move forward and, stop with the kind of back and forth energy. So, you guys are fire signs. You are not weak. You are not weak by any means. You are just being shown exactly where your energy leaks are. You know what I mean? Where your fear and your, darker thoughts have kind of been clouding your ability to really trust yourself. Where old wounds might still kind of be, influencing present choices and things like that too. And this is powerful. This is a powerful place to be in because, you can work with what you see. You know what I mean? Like whatever comes into light is coming into light because it's being transformed and transmuted. Like I said, this is the first stage of alchemy. So, all of that is being shifted right now. And what is most supportive for you fire signs right now, first and foremost, is serenity. Okay. And I feel like this is really important because there's a lot of fire, a whole lot of fire. And so slowing down and stepping into that space of serenity is powerful, powerful medicine right now. Okay. Now, serenity, this card says the most important relationship you can have is the one with yourself. This is a time to honor, nurture, and love yourself more by seeking out and removing any negative feelings and emotions left over from yesterday. So, right away, I feel like, Spirit is saying you guys, need to cleanse emotional. Water might be helpful right now. This is water here. So, get in some water with all this fire present, calm those inner fires, be gentle with yourselves. Most importantly, give yourselves grace. Stop feeding, the little fear beasts, with yesterday's pain and fear and all of that kind of stuff. Okay. Release that, make space for the new stuff to come in. And also in the support position. And again, you got this red and blue theme showing up here again, right? So the second card is find your center. Okay. So, like I said, again, it fits there. Find your center says your outside world is reflecting what is happening inside you at this time. So if life feels chaotic or stressful, a little hectic or overwhelming, even emotionally loud right now, this is really calling you inward. It says, this is a good moment to stop and ask, when was the last time I checked in with myself? So, take a moment, with all the chaos, all the stress, all the fire, really, like I said, take a moment to rejoice and laugh. Take a moment to find your center. Take a moment to check in with yourself, to ground, right? This red root chakra energy, to ground your energy and ask yourself what is really going on underneath all this noise. What is my body trying to tell me, right? What is my heart trying to tell me? So like I said, that ties right into this individuality card here. Okay. Your center matters right now. Being centered and grounded in your body matters right now. Your connection to yourself matters right now. Okay. Now, with the advice card that I have for you guys, the advice card says, make time to play, have fun, be free. And I love this. I love this because, it's again, it brings us right back to this apricot energy with rejoice and laugh. And also to adventure, right? Like I said earlier, when I was, kind of joking about the air signs, why so serious, not only, deal with the fear, and kind of face that inner conflict, with the back and forth push and pull between those darker thoughts and, your unwavering commitment to growth and healing. This is also factoring, joy and laughter as part of your medicine. Okay. So play as part of your medicine here too. Freedom, you know, freedom and adventure, that's part of the path too. So, letting yourself just loosen up and have fun sometimes and laugh sometimes, that's not a distraction from your path or your purpose, your commitment in any way. It's actually part of it. It's part of that medicine. And like I said, it's meant to be that right now. It's meant to be that way right now. You're meant to kind of do both, have fun, let yourself, loosen up, now I feel like that laughter and everything is going to kind of help to reopen your heart and your spirit. Okay. Now, the overall guidance from Spirit comes through this postcard. And when I read it initially, I thought it really does tie everything together beautifully. I love these decks. I love this deck particularly because it never fails. It's always the last card I pull, and half the time I wish it would have been the first one because it basically summarizes everything that I've pulled through all the other cards. And that is definitely showing up here as well. So I'm going to just read that to you guys directly. It says, dearest you, we have a secret to share with you. If you act as if all is well, it will be. Act as if you are brave and you will have courage. Act as if you are loved and you'll be a magnet for love and experience the love of spirit. Act as if your prayers have been answered, as if you are truly in sync with good fortune. How you think is how you will see the world, interact with it, and draw conclusions from it. So if you want to be the person who has the life you want, co-creating and loving what is yours, you need to start acting as if that were the truth. Don't worry about the conditions in your life that seem empty or cavernous, chaotic or barren. These are temporary and they don't even count. Defy them and act as if you are the luckiest person on the planet anyway. You will be, for you already are. That's the real secret. You are infinite potential. And I love the ending because it says, loving you so much that rainbows explode into the ether. So yeah, I don't know. I just, again, it's like if you, that whole thing about, energy flows where your attention goes, right? So if you act as if all is well, then it will be. If you want courage, then act like you're brave. If you want love, then act like you are love. Like all of these things, they're all there for you guys. It's your mindset matters, your energy matters, the story you keep telling yourself matters. So do you want to speak a story of, fear and this dark, intrusive energy? Or do you want to tell one of power and individuality and serenity and laughter and adventure, right? So there's a much fuller life waiting for you on the other side of this. So for my Aries, Leo, and Sag, this super stellium new moon is activating all of this for you. Your individuality, your voice, your heart, um, your courage, your desire for a fuller, freer, more authentic life. It's life is calling you toward adventure. And asking you to commit to that, to commit to what matters most. But it's also revealing your fear and indecision and thoughts that are still kind of interfering with your next step. So, like I said, the best support for you right now is serenity, is finding your center, is remembering to make time for play and to have fun and just be free. You don't have to become more burdened with all of this, heavier kind of stuff to be able to move forward. You just have to come back to self and let yourself have fun, stay centered, let yourself have fun and be joyful. Because, life is an adventure. It's meant to feel like an adventure, you are going to blossom and bloom no matter where you're planted. So, let the sun shine in. That's what this feels like. All right. So, yeah, I feel like, stop letting fear narrate the future, you guys. Don't let that old pain and everything kind of, define the path ahead in any way. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Choose yourself again. You know, um, let it be joyful. Let it be easy. Laughter can be the best medicine. Okay. So trust this. And if you guys have any questions about anything, if this resonated for you in any way, I want to hear it. Drop it down in the comments. Let me know how you're doing with all of this Aries energy. And most importantly, if you want to book a private reading with me to see how this energy is impacting you on a direct personal level, I'll go ahead and drop the link in the video description. But please do go ahead and give me a like, a follow, a share. Subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for future readings. All right, Soul Tribe, much love, many blessings. Thank you so much, fire signs, for being here. Peace.